The St. Louis Blues are absolutely terrified as they dominate the Winnipeg Jets for the second straight game, with key players stepping up, setting records, and having historic nights. We have a lot to break down by this dominant performance by the St. Louis Blues. Before we get into that, Darius, we just got to give a huge shout out to everyone watching this, all the St. Louis fans. And if you're a part of the 90% not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on your St. Louis Blues and the rest of the National Hockey League, make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button, and we'll keep up to date on everything to do around the league. But with that, let's just hop straight into the first topic today, because we're both fired up, and I'm sure everyone watching this, if you're not a Jets fan, is as well. But we see a dominant win from the St. Louis Blues, 5-1. Going into this game, we knew St. Louis was going to win. Pat Maroon coming out, getting the fans fired up. I'm just going to kind of throw it to you, Darius. What is your thoughts on this game and just the both of the dominant games by the Blues so far?
I think the NHL just learned something today that the St. Louis Blues are not going to roll over and die. I mean, they are the hottest team in the NHL at home. They do not lose at home. They defend their fortress very well. Pat Maroon, as soon as I saw that pregame, I was like, this team is not losing. I mean, look at this, firing up the crowd. This guy just retired, and he's a lifer with the Blues. So the crowd is absolutely going crazy. And then one thing that I've noticed in this series so far, we're going to get to some more advanced stuff in a second. Obviously, Connor Hellebuyck, we will get to that in a second. But both games that the Blues have won have been blowouts. And then when you look at the two games that were in Winnipeg, they've been very close. The first one was 5-3, but there was an empty netter there, right? So both those games are very close. Both teams were in it. But both these games in St. Louis have been absolute blowouts. And I saw you guys in the comments, a couple of you in the comments, calling me out for my, what I was saying about Tyler Tucker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he arrived in this game. He's got his goal, and he's a nice scrappy player on the back end there for the St. Louis Blues. So I do believe in him. And again, scoring today, good for him. And then as you can see, the "We Want Connor" chants, because Connor Hellebuyck pulled in his second straight game. And Mark, I'm going to throw it back to you, but I've been saying it on the channel, and we've been making content for Jets fans as well. So if you're a Jets fan watching this, I am sorry about the loss, but we do appreciate your support on the channel. But honestly, I've been saying it all season. It leads to this point, and we're seeing it again in the playoffs. Connor Hellebuyck might be on fraud watch. I'm just saying at this point, this is a serious problem. 2 games in a row, he's been pulled.
And the biggest thing is, listen, looking at this team, we're seeing a dominant team, and this is not even a fully healthy Blues team. We don't have Dylan Holloway in this lineup. This is a team that has outscored the Winnipeg Jets 12-3 in the last 2 games on home ice versus the best team record-wise in the NHL against what is supposed to be the best goalie in the NHL. But listen, that's not happening anymore. We've seen him pulled. We know we're chanting to get him back in because it's easier to score goals on him. We're looking at this team as a dominant force, a team that is currently on a huge streak, the best goalie in the playoffs right now, and Jordan Binnington. I mean, looking at the team, Darius, this is the team that going into the year, a lot of people question. They've really pushed up to the expectations. Jim Montgomery coming in, changing the philosophy of this team. I mean, looking at this, Cam Fowler, 8 points. We couldn't get the stats as it wasn't updated yet because we were just too excited. This Blues team has been firing on all cylinders at home, even on the road, going on a 13-game win streak. What is your thoughts on just the personnel and how they've been meshing going into the playoffs?
Well, we know from the beginning of the season, I mean, a lot of people, like you said, were questioning this team. And then obviously they had the opportunity to hire Jim Montgomery. The Bruins are probably, thinking poorly of that decision still. And he came in and he's turned this team around. But the one thing that's been impressive this entire playoff so far, and I know it's only been 4 games, is obviously, like I mentioned, the 2 games that the Blues have won have been blowouts. The 2 games in Winnipeg, much closer. But you have your usual suspects, right? Robert Thomas has been one of your best players. He's supposed to be one of your best players. He's performing like that, right? That's good news. That's a good thing. Buchnevich, obviously, the last game had a huge game, hat trick, all of that. So usual suspects are there to play. Parayko's been a factor. Binnington's always going to be a factor in these playoff games as well. We were talking about that before the season or the series even started, excuse me. And then obviously Cam Fowler and what he's done coming into this team, right? Those are all set in stone and they're all playing well, which is expected. But you're getting a lot of goals from guys like I just mentioned, like Tyler Tucker, right? Like you're getting offense from everywhere. And when you're getting offense from everywhere and you're bought in and locked in as well as this team is defensively with the team defense aspect, like I said, like a lot of teams have a really good defensive core, but if the whole team's not locked in and bought into what the coach is saying and kind of the structure in the system, you're not going to find too much success. This team has bought in. They're playing great as a unit, and I think that's paying off right now. So that's the one thing that has really impressed me, that they're finding offense from all these different places right now. Snuggerud scored in this series as well, right? Like, he's a rookie that just came to the NHL, so that's pretty impressive. And again, like I mentioned, Tyler Tucker, and they're getting scoring from, the top guys too. So everyone's kind of chipping in right now, especially during the home games, these two home games. I wonder what happens now in game 5. You have all the momentum. Yes, you're heading back to Winnipeg, so that's going to be a factor. You do have one more game left at home. I did predict that this series would go 7, so it is looking like it's going to go that way to me. But it's been that's one thing that's really impressed me in this series, that the usual suspects have shown up. You always want that. If that doesn't happen, then you can still win the series, but it's going to be harder. They have, and then they're getting scoring from other places too. So it's been pretty fun to watch.
Because, I mean, listen, Jordan Binnington has been outstanding. We've seen him really turn around his season during the Four Nations, winning with Canada. He has been a storyline that everyone around the National Hockey League needs to keep their eyes on. We've seen him dominate on home ice, in away games. We've seen him really change the aspect. I mean, this game alone, what is it, a .958 save percentage against the Winnipeg Jets, only allowing 3 goals over these 2 games. But, I mean, listen, we know they have been rolling at home. This is a team, and the graphics not even right anymore. It is now 14 wins in a row at home, undefeated at the arena since February 23rd. They have been electric, and I believe Jordan Binnington is now up to 10 or 11 of these wins in a row at home. But Darius, this all goes back to the next game in Winnipeg. This series is not over until someone loses at home, and if the Blues can take a game in Winnipeg going into game 5, is it crazy to see that they could go back, dominate game 6, and just win this at home, on home ice, have the fans fired up? I just want to play the Pat Maroon clip again, because this is one of the funniest things and best things we've seen from the playoffs. But going back with the momentum, seeing how well this team has played, do you think if they can secure that next game on the Jets' home ice, that we could see the series clue up in 6, maybe even give more time for Dylan Holloway to get around the team and practice, and then go into the second round fully healthy?
I do think there's a world they win this series. I mean, I picked them to win this series in 7 games, but I think they could wrap it up earlier because, yes, it's going to be tough to win in Winnipeg. It is, right? The crowd is behind them. We know it's a factor. But even Mike McIntyre, an insider for the Winnipeg Jets, he alluded to Gabe Vilardi. We know he should be returning soon. And he says, I'm not even sure Gabe Vilardi is going to fix this, right? What does that mean at this point, right? Are the Winnipeg Jets playing that, bad? And yes, they didn't have a great game, but if insiders from Winnipeg and writers from Winnipeg are saying that, I mean, the St. Louis Blues are definitely doing something right. So they have all the momentum right now. I would argue that they could have won one of the first 2 games as well, because those games were tight. And if they ride that into game 5, I do think there's a world they win that one. And then you're coming back home. You've been absolutely dominant at home. So it's going to be game 5 is crucial, because if the Winnipeg Jets win it, obviously they have an opportunity to win game 6 and close out the series. And then they might have a game 7 as well back on home ice. So if game 5 is going to be crucial. If the Blues can win game 5 coming back home for game 6, I feel like they do close out the series in 6. It's going to be, and imagine they win 4 straight against the Winnipeg Jets, the best team in the regular season in the NHL, and possibly the Vezina Trophy winner on their team as well, right? There's a very real possibility he wins the Vezina, but you have one of the best goaltenders in the NHL on the other side when you are in the clutch, and that's Jordan Binnington.
But Blues fans, what's your thoughts on this? This was one of the most electric games on home ice we've seen this year. We know the fans have been loving it. Watching it from the outside has been incredible. The St. Louis Blues are terrifying, and people are finally starting to notice this. But what's your guys' thoughts? Go ahead and leave a comment. Do you think the Blues can win it in Winnipeg? Do you think they're going to secure the series win in Game 6 at home? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. But with that'd be it for this episode of Hat Trick HQ. If you enjoyed it, make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button. If you made it this far and you're part of that 90%, why not? You enjoyed the content to go this far. If you're a Jets fan, you're a little sad. Sucks. Sorry to tell you, but still hit that subscribe button. But that'd be it for this episode of Hat Trick HQ. If you enjoyed it, as I said, go down and leave a comment. But I've been your host, Mark Pye, with my co-host Darius, and take care.